Week 8 of Psych 651 at Liberty University, and this week's presentation is on Chapter 11 of our textbook, Managing Team Performance. The main topics we will cover in this presentation include understanding teams and their importance in the workplace, types of teams and performance implications, unique challenges that are associated with assessing teams, suggestions from our author on extending the performance management process to account for team challenges, and finally, important notes for adjusting reward systems to account for team performance. And their importance, Aquinas notes the concept of a team as two or more people who interact dynamically and interdependently and share a common and valued goal, objective, or mission. According to this author, teams are valuable for a number of reasons. First, as global competition increases, businesses are pressured to improve products and services to compete with a larger pool of competitors. Teams provide larger groups of individuals and greater opportunities for innovation. Second, as many organizations restructure their companies, teams provide a valuable alternative to hierarchical levels of individuals, which provides flexibility for organizations. Third, as goods and services become more complex, greater numbers of individuals are required to bring their personal expertise to the table. And finally, as organizational environments undergo rapid transformation and change, teams provide a quicker response time than simply relying on one individual. That a group is assigned and the makeup of the group's members, teams can be classified as one of three different variations: work or service teams, project teams, and/or network teams. As you can see by the graphic included, work or service teams typically include a group of static members who work together for longer periods of time on routine tasks. Project teams, on the other hand, are less static than work service teams and are typically assigned to work together for the duration of a semi-routine task or project. Contrary to both of these, network teams are often geographically dispersed and work on a variety of non-routine or complex tasks. Inclusion of teams can often help organizations perform more effectively. There are also some challenges that team performances bring about. Namely, our author states that there are three important questions that must be asked before implementing a performance management system that includes work or teams of groups. 1. How do we assess relative individual contribution? 2. How do we balance individual and team performance? And 3. How do we identify individual and team measures of performance? For these unique challenges, the author has provided us with 6 basic principles or guidelines for implementing a performance management system. First, make sure that teams do in fact exist and are being utilized. Second, take the time to invest in carefully measuring important information. Third, make sure that goals for both individuals and teams are clearly defined. Fourth, use a multi-method approach to measuring team performance. Fifth, focus on both processes and their outcomes when evaluating individual and team performance. And sixth, be sure to track long-term changes that might provide valuable insight for groups further down the road. In the performance management process, Chapter 11 provides us with a refresher of the steps involved in implementing an effective system, including the prerequisite stage, the performance planning stage, the performance execution stage, the performance assessment stage, the performance review stage, and finally the performance renewal and recontracting stage. In the slides to follow, I have included some of the extensions for measuring team performance for each of these stages as outlined by our author. Management process includes 2 specific prerequisites: identifying the organizational mission and conducting a job analysis. The purpose of this stage is to ensure that performance measures are clearly outlined and that performance standards are in line with organizational goals and values identified in the overall mission. During this stage, Aquinas suggests that job analyses should include both task-relevant information necessary for on-the-job success, but also should include a number of pro-social behaviors that will lead to positive team interactions, such as communication, decision-making, collaboration, leadership, and self-control. The second stage in the performance management process is the performance planning stage, in which performance results and behaviors are communicated to employees and personal development plans are created to provide clear guidelines towards one's goals. During this stage, the author suggests extending the discussion to include both individual and team accountabilities and ways to facilitate additional team learning through adaptive processes, such as trying new behaviors, generative processes, such as learning from others, and transformative processes, such as trial by error and group discussions. The performance management process is the performance execution execution stage, in which employees and managers share equal responsibility for their commitment to the goals set forth during the planning stage and for their progress towards those goals. In accounting for team performances, some additional responsibilities that supervisors may face include observing team performance in addition to individual performance, tracking individual contributions to the team as well as their task-related goals, providing additional tools and resources, tracking group process, and motivating group and/or group members. In addition, employees may also be responsible for maintaining commitment to the team goals that were set in addition to their own, actively seeking feedback from both supervisors and peer team members, and for providing additional feedback to team members as well. In the performance assessment phase, individuals communicate their progress and elicit feedback from others to help prepare for the appraisal stage to come. During the individual performance measurements, individuals may look to gain feedback from self-appraisal methods, peer appraisals, and supervisor appraisals. In measuring team performance, all of these sources are still included. However, in addition to gaining feedback on personal performance, individuals should be seeking feedback on 3 important elements of performance, including individual task performance, individual contribution to the team, and overall team performance. Stage, formal meetings are held between supervisors and employees regarding individual performance and progress, as well as outlining steps for future development where needed. When measuring team performance, this still holds true. However, meetings should include aspects of all 3 performance measures included in the performance assessment stage regarding individual performance, individual contribution to the team, and overall team performance. These topics should be discussed in 2 separate meetings that occur at this stage, an individual meeting and an overall group or team meeting. Management process remains largely the same. Both strengths and weaknesses of the previous cycle should be discussed, and solutions to any problems should be generated to enhance the system implemented for the cycles to come. This is true for systems that measure both individual and team performance. In the section of this chapter, MVazquez touches on the topic of rewards and ways to make rewards appropriate for team performance. While some aspects of reward systems remain static, for example, rewards should be eligible to everyone, should be visible whenever possible, should be contingent on set performance standards, and should be reversible, there is one important aspect of a reward system that is unique to team performance. When providing team members with rewards, organizations should take care to note the types of success that is being rewarded in relation to overall team performance. If individual contribution is overemphasized, group members may not feel it is necessary to work together as part of a functioning team. However, if group performance is emphasized over other standards of success, group members may spend too much time focused on working well together and getting along, and their overall performance and/or efficiency may suffer as a result. For our discussion board are as follows. 1. Think back to a time when you were asked to work as part of a team, either in a work context or perhaps in a school-based group project. What types of rewards or incentives were utilized to gauge overall performance success, and how did those rewards affect both individual and group contributions or performance? And at times we are asked to work in collaboration with individuals whose values might conflict with our own. As Christians, what are some of the ways that you might handle or address these types of situations so as not to hinder group cohesiveness or success?